All right, everyone, welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another spectacularly rare, exciting, amazing toy. And before we get into it, take a second to unwind. Grab that coffee, the tea, stir it and clank it. Clank it nice, like you mean it. Sweeten it, put a little cream in it and some sugar, and grab a snack, or if it's evening or lunch, get another type of drink that soothes you, that chills you out, mellows you out, so you can focus and pay attention to this amazing, rare toy. And I'm going to tell you why I never wanted to buy this toy. Back in the day when I first started collecting, this toy was an enigma, a rumor almost, because it was so rare. It commanded crazy prices, and there was a dealer named Sandra Kessler. This is going back into the late 80s now. And there were stories like she had one of these on Long Island and she wanted something like $18,000 or $16,000, and she was peddling it for a long time. But nobody had the orange magic space dog. So I said, man, that is one toy I'm never going to buy because I wasn't a big fan of the space animals. Not at those prices and not back then when I really couldn't afford it. So it just was always crossed off my radar. And you know, thank God, little by little, it lost a little bit of its, I don't know, I'm not going to say rarity because it's really exceptionally rare, especially with this flying saucer, which I'll get into. But for whatever reason, it's not that it became more common, but it's that it just didn't sustain that high price that it used to get back in the day. I think maybe the internet lost a little bit of its luster. And you did get examples loose without the saucer that was more common. And I guess there were people reproducing the saucer antenna and the box, so that brought the price down significantly. Like if you found one of these loose and you had a reproduction flying saucer and a reproduction box, it looked good and you saved a whole bunch of money. So for whatever reason, I got to the point where now the price had come down significantly. So I was able to get this one dead mint in the box, and I'm happy I did because now it goes with my silver space elephant, the red space elephant. I have the red dog. I don't even have it in a display cabinet. I have no idea where it is, and I'm not worried about it. It's a little more common. So let's start with this box. It's a KO box. You know, KO makes these pushing through the artwork. You know, they're tearing through. Usually it's in red, but this one, interestingly enough, is in green. And you probably don't see that from far away, but you can see here, once again, it's busting through the box. You can see it peeling away here, busting through the fourth wall, like Deadpool, or maybe the dreaded She-Hulk. And it's green, just like her crappy CGI was. And, you know, over here you have a beautiful space scene. This is what KO does. You know, they put the space scene behind, and in this case, the space doggy here is in the front. Now, I'm looking all over. And I find it interesting that they don't illustrate the antenna with the flying saucer. I think that's kind of odd, given that it's such a integral part of the toy. You know, it makes it really, really cool. I mean, let's face it, you're getting a freaking flying saucer, a vintage tin flying saucer. That's cool beans. That should have been highlighted in the illustration. But nonetheless, this is a beautiful box, nice space mountains, a couple of big craters, and the toy is well illustrated. And then you have your font here, and you have the green. I don't know, the other reason why he's so green, because it's an orange dog, but whatever, we'll roll with it. And again, you have the red, which KO is common for in a space station. So it's kind of, you know, they couldn't stay away from the red too much. They got it on the end panels. So that's your lovely box. And of course, your KO logo, if I didn't mention it. As for the dog, you know, I used to see this bow. It used to strike me as, like, for some reason, I thought it looked like the Confederate flag on this guy. Maybe it was the color. But he's orange with rivets, he or she. There's your logo. And it surprises me that they reproduced the red dog and then they made versions like Chrome. I know Schilling did. Why they never stepped up, I'm kind of glad they didn't, but they could have easily made this version. Now look at how different it is in battery, because this is a battery toy too. So you have this cool chrome cover with like these 3 perforations here. It almost like it's 3 levels, but it's just really on and off the slide switch. And under the gel, you have a bulb, which is pretty faint. I may turn off the toy, and that's pretty much it. He's got the, the blue tinted eyes, the Google eyes. That's how you know the old, like I tell you, in all the space animals, look for the blue. They all had that blue tinted. So if it's modern, they tend not to have it. Oh, and by the way, here's the flying saucer, man. Beautiful tin litho. Now, I would imagine the reproduction ones are hand painted, so you could probably easily tell the difference and distinguish between a reproduction flying saucer for this dog and the original. So, I think this went really low, well, relatively speaking, it went low on the auction. This was recently from Bertoia. And I think part of the reason it sold for, in my opinion, greatly undervalued. I mean, the price I mentioned previously that Sandra Kessler was trying to get, I mean, it was like a fourth of that at best. I think it's because they advertised it with the original antenna, but they never showed it in the picture. And I think people were skeptical. My feeling was, you know what? They're advertising it like that. I'm going to buy it as if it has it. If it doesn't, worst comes to worst, I would return it because I'm anticipating that it was going to have it. And sure enough, it did. And I was like, wow. I don't know why they chose not to include it in the picture. But be that as it may, here we are. And, anything else on the bottom before I get rolling? There's your mechanism. Got a silver battery door, which is kind of unusual. It's just really interesting. The lithography and the color of this is really, really cool. Kind of some grills and venting. These are embossed, so ribbed, you can feel it. Where these aren't. These are just lithos. So that's kind of an interesting contrast. You have them actually embossed and then flat here. So, all right, enough of my rambling on, as Robert Plant used to sing. Let's turn him on and see what he does. I'm going to try to keep him in frame. How cool is that, man? Man, I may have waited 30 years to get one of these things, but I'm glad I finally got it. Now the light is on. I won't leave it on too long. I'll see if I can show you. I was going to dim the lights, but so if you lift it up, it doesn't do anything. So it is non-stop. It's not stopping. Man, I love that action. Wow, that was impressive. I mean, I'm a little beat. This is only a couple of days after our preview, but I'm probably posting this way after the fact, sometime in January. But, we're actually here cleaning up a few things. This is, when I had my preview night, and we had, I think, total close to 50 people. And I needed to chill out. We didn't come in the following Sunday, and at Monday and Tuesday, that's our official off days. So I needed to recuperate, man. I busted my hump to get this place ready. And so it was even a slog to get here. It's, I believe, Monday to put away these toys, which just came in from the auction company. So I'm a little low energy. I always say that, but I am. But nonetheless, that's, this was spectacular. I love the action. So now I got to squeeze him into those cases where all those toys are. And hopefully he fits in somewhere. And including the box too. So with that, let me know what you think. I think this is, again, I didn't probably show the enthusiasm, but I was actually pretty floored by this. This was spectacular in my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comments. Thumb up the video if you like it. And don't forget to share them wherever, you can. And if you're a lurker, please subscribe. That would be the numero uno thing you can do. With that, thank you again for your time, and I will talk to you later.